I've spent 5 good years of my life introspecting, trying to control my thoughts, my emotions, and my mind, and trying to be stable somehow. And in this era where everyone is trying to be a boss babe or trying to hustle and all of that, I think it's high time we address that for any of that to happen, you need to accept that mind is a monkey and it cannot be tamed. This is something I talked about on my newsletter as well. But we can learn how to navigate this wild jungle of thoughts. This restlessness can lead to confusion and anxiety and a sense of being overwhelmed. And this is more prominent in women than it is in men because we are prone to overthinking. And especially if you're a woman and an empath, then that's a deadly combination. You probably have gone through your whole life um, either feeling numb to emotions because you suppressed them so much because you wanted to take control over that monkey mind, or you're just overwhelmed the whole time and it shows in your activity, like you could be hyper, you could fixate at one issue the entire day, or you could have anger issues, stuff like that, because you need to take it out somewhere. And this monkey mind will not stop. But now you'd ask me, how do you stop this mental gymnastics that's going on, through your mind the entire day? And the answer is quite simple: you cannot stop it. Mind is involuntary, at least for I'd say 99% of the people, myself included. And believe me, I have tried reading all self help books and all of that, but it is nearly impossible to stop your thoughts. But there is one way to conquer your mind, and that is to not react to the thoughts that are coming to your head. Saying this, I remember one of the greatest philosophers, Osho, who said that the mind is a beautiful servant but a dangerous master. Our thoughts are illusions, projections, mere reflections of our past experiences and our fears. Say, for example, I was not a terrible math student, I was pretty average, but I was really scared of math at school. So, whenever there was a math test incoming, I would spend more time worrying about it, talking to my friends, and thinking about how badly I scored the last time than actually studying and preparing well this time. What I did was I fed onto this thought that, and this idea that I am not good at math. And this brings me to my next topic, that thoughts, they do not have their own life. They are parasites and they feed off of you, and they live if you identify with them. Just like I did with me being bad at math. I identified the feeling of fear and low self-esteem with math. Until date, I am scared of math. Like, I have nightmares. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I think it's my uh, you know um, final exam or something of math, and I am by the time I'm awake, I'm panting. Like, it's pretty I've been scarred. um, because I fed on to this thought for far too long and I identified with it. And this is what happens every time you identify with a thought, you give it a pedestal, you give it a position in your life that, okay, like, I acknowledge you, now sit here and rule over me. Similarly, when you say, I'm angry, you're pouring into that energy of anger, which cannot be good, obviously. So, how do we deal with this monkey mind? The first step is to recognize that not everything that we think is true. I know, right? I mean, it's the opposite of what we're made to believe, but it's true. Everything that we think is not us, it's just a thought. It could have been lifted from someone else. You met someone, whatever energy they carried, whatever thoughts they carried, believe it or not, they get transferred to you. This thing is real. Vibration and energy are real things. So when the thought arises, it does not mean that you have to act upon it. Just witness. Observe your thoughts like there are clouds in the sky and they're just like passing by. A random thought about somebody being rude to you, okay, let that pass. All right. Another one could be that you didn't get the tickets for your favorite concert, and this has been happening over and over again, so you think it's bad luck and you're upset over it, and you're mentally cursing all the people who are going. That's just still a thought, so let that one pass as well. Don't judge them, don't engage with those thoughts, just let them flow like a movie. Don't do anything, be an observer. So this is your mind, this is you, let that play out and be an observer. How about we try a simple exercise together? Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Imagine your thoughts as leaves floating down a stream. This is something I do almost every night. And watch them pass by without grabbing onto any one of them like they belong to you. Don't grab onto it like they belong to you. So as you practice this, you'll start noticing a sense of detachment and a feeling of calm take over your body. You'll see that many of your thoughts, they are just noise. They are not worth your attention or your energy. When you're not identifying with your thoughts, they lose their value because you bring them down the pedestal and they become important. And every time these thoughts flash before your eyes and you're watching them as an observer, you almost feel like they could be anybody's thoughts. They could be the thoughts of the person who's walking down the street. And now you've broken the connection with them. Remember that the mind is a master of illusion, and a logical mind cannot work without pre-existing data, facts, and experiences. And of course, the environment as well. So the logical mind's function is just to use that pre-existing data and create a thought. And that's why the thought is not you, at least not entirely you. And that's why, because it's not you, it's not true. The logical mind creates stories and scenarios that seem real in that moment but are actually far from the truth. How many times has it been that you've seen a good-looking guy and imagined an interaction with them, imagined going on dates and possibly marriage and kids, right? I think many girls have done that, but how true is it? You haven't even spoken a word to him yet. So, but the power of thought taking over your imagination is that big. And by letting your thoughts flow without reacting to them, you regain control of your mind and emotions, and you become more emotionally stable and responsive and responsible. This state of being is called the no mind state, and it's different from the term mindfulness. In mindfulness, you're still giving power to your thoughts. You're choosing what to think and forcing your mind in a way. But in the no mind state, nothing can distract a man because he cannot feel greed, jealousy, anger, or any other emotion. No mind is the sky without clouds. With practice, you'll feel more calmer, you'll feel more centered inside, and untouched by the chaos of thoughts. I hope this video was helpful, and I wish you the best of luck in practicing this.